Hey y'all, hey, it's another episode of Bonafide Podcast featuring the one and only Zack
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Austin. And y'all, this is okay. First of all, this episode is special because not only is he here, we just made it to 250 episode, y'all, on this
Yep, yep.
milestone. So come on with it. So big
hmm
shout out to Zack for making my 250th episode.
I'm
Come
glad
on
to
with
be
it.
250, man. I appreciate
Yeah.
being here.
I had to get my little mini tambourines. I don't have my big tambourine, but my little shaker is gonna be my little tambourine. So
hmm
this is special. But how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just chilling. Just chilling. Probably finna work out and then head to Charlotte for a little Charlotte Pro Am later on
Hey,
today.
I know that's right. Hey, gotta get some cardio game
Get
in. Let
some
them know what it
cardio
is.
in. That's all it is. Some cardio, some good cardio.
I know that's right. So let's get to it. So Zach, can you tell us your sports story to how you got to where you are?
Yeah. Well, so basically growing up, I wasn't really like the biggest sports guy. I wasn't really playing sports growing up. I didn't really start playing a sport till sixth grade in middle school. Played pee wee, junior pee wee football for the Indians. Was playing wide receiver at that age. We wasn't really throwing the ball much. Indians were more of a running team, so I was just blocking. I was just a outside lineman, is what I would say. So after that, got into middle school, went to D prep, best high school in Winston-Salem. If you want to play basketball, for all the little kids out there. Went there from sixth grade to 12th grade. Started playing basketball for real in like seventh grade. I didn't play on like the middle school team at the time. I just wasn't there yet. I felt like, and plus I had a lot of stuff going on at the time, so I just wasn't playing basketball. So then eighth grade came. Played basketball. That's my first time playing basketball. We only played like 5 games, but I ended up winning MVP. We didn't win no games. We was kind of bad, but it was fun, like just playing like a sport, and that was like the first time me actually like being involved in a big way. So, like going through that was like, dang, like this basketball stuff is kind of fun. Like I really want to try to make something out of it. So going to prep really helped me out a lot, just because all the people that came through prep. So after that, talked to Gould, Andre Gould. He was the head coach at the time. He seen me, told me to play, stay for high school. So I stayed. Started doing AAU that eighth grade summer with Team Major, and then after that, started playing team for Team Winston, and that's where things kind of like took off for me. Started getting a couple offers. Played 2 years of JV also. So to the kids out there, ain't nothing wrong with playing JV for 2 years, 1 year. As long as you improving and getting better at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, and getting your reps in. So played 2 years of JV. After that, junior year, was a starter. And I was the starting center, by the way, for everybody out there. I was a 6'5" center. Um, couldn't dribble, couldn't shoot for real. All my job was that my junior year was just, block shots, rebound, make layups. And I had a great time doing it. Like I be trying to tell kids nowadays, you do your job, people will find you. Cause me, I'm doing that alone. I had a good little Frank Spencer tournament. It's like the holiday tournament here in Winston. I got an offer from App State from it, so that was my first D1 offer. And then my senior, well, that junior year, we ended up winning states. We won like 27 games in a row. It was a good year, if you ask me. And then senior came, AU went good. Got a couple more O's from like upstate. Was talking to a couple schools like College of Charleston. Um, got a like couple D2 offers from Catawba, Mount Olive. And then senior year came, AU went straight, went decent. Senior year went by. Uh, didn't end it the way I wanted to. We lost third round to Bishop McGinnis. But after that happened, a lot of the offers I had end up getting rescinded, getting taken back, because I'm not knowing anything at the time. Like it was probably smarter from my end, just for somebody who just started getting to basketball to probably commit earlier than everybody else. I wanted to like sit back, see if I can get some more and weigh my options and really think about it. But after that happened, got a lot of my offers taken away, and it wasn't just because of I think because of my off the court. I wasn't the best student at the time either. I wasn't taking everything serious. Because at the time I wasn't thinking I was gonna be where I'm at now when it came to basketball. I thought I was like, you play basketball, then you just go about your life after that. But I think Ghoul, my head coach at the time, my sister, my grandma, my really my circle, pushed me to be better. So got did another year at AU after my senior year of high school. Did really good, and then I was like gonna go to Fort Union for post grad. If you don't know what Fort Union is, like super strict military schools. Like honestly, it's if you ask me, it's worse than Hargrave because I feel like it's real deal tight knit. They're not going for none of that. And honestly, me, I was nervous. I really didn't want to do it, but my high school coach at the time thought it would be the best situation for me just for the discipline wise, but I don't know if I can do it. I had no phone. I would have been had no phone. We was in the middle of nowhere. I can only see my peoples like 3 times out the time, and I'm so used to being home all the time. Like I wasn't just ready for that. So I ended up going to Moravian instead of Fort Union. Probably like a week before I was supposed to go to Fort Union, I ended up like changing and going to Moravian, which honestly went really well. Like I was still isolated from I was far from my peoples, but not far enough from the point where they could still drive up there and they want to come see me if they want to come see me. But yeah, went to Mount Moravian. I think I had really is where everything changed for me basketball wise. Like that was like the first time I was able to have the gym 24 hours, 24/7. Um, be able to just walk in and just shoot anytime I want. Shooting gun, I was new to that. We didn't have a shooting gun at prep, so just being able to go down there and just being with a whole bunch of guys that's like all from all over. We had a dude from Brazil, had a dude from London, had dudes from Florida, dudes from up north, out west. Like it was just a whole bunch of dudes just there for the same reason, just getting better at basketball, trying to, go to the next level and play in college. So just being around all of them type of dudes and just seeing everybody from different walks of life kind of helped me a lot, just seeing like being more grateful about the situation I am. Because at first it was kind of like, dang, all my friends, all my AU teammates are in college now, and I'm still like, quote unquote, in high school. So it's like, it made me feel a lot better where I was at, like in the position I was. I didn't feel like I was too far behind of the guys that I, in the same class I was at. So after that, had a really good year. I thought I should have got a lot more O's than I did. I only ended up really getting one offer, one official offer, and that was from High Point. So I really did all that to just get one offer, which looking back on it, like I'm super blessed because I realize how hard it is now to get offers. At the time, I just thought like, you do this, you do that, you know this guy, you know that guy, they'll just give you an offer. But like, knowing what I know now, like that one offer was truly a blessing. So I got offered from High Point. I did have some other schools come towards the end, like Purdue, Fort Wayne, and North Carolina Central, but High Point got on me earlier. Shout out KG, Keith Gatlin. He also coached, Harry Giles and Quay Parker, Jalen Johnson, Brendan Childress. He was their head coach of that Wesleyan team. That was so hard. So getting off from him and him telling me that like, I see a lot of potential in you really meant a lot because I already knew who he was. And if you don't know who Keith Gatlin is, he went to Maryland, played with Liam Bias, one of the best guards in ACC. So it was like, if he's saying he sees something in me, then I'm really more locked in. Like, dang, like I really gotta pursue this and lock in and don't get distracted by little things. And at the time, I was trying to be a class clown and trying to make everybody laugh and not really focus on the main thing, but that was the main thing. He told me, get the main thing, the main thing. So after that, with the High Point for 3 years, redshirted my freshman year. So my redshirt freshman year, so technically my sophomore year, ended up winning freshman of the year in the Big South. Broke the record for most freshman of weeks with like 8 or something like that. Really should have been like 9, 10, but I'm not gonna say too much. But yeah, so one freshman year, we had a decent year. Went to like the second round of our Big South tournament. Decided to run it back one more time. This was like right when like the transfer rules was getting put in. So like I could have transferred and like after my freshman year and didn't want to have to sit, but the people I met at High Point, my circle of friends that I met are like dudes that I'm not gonna be talked to for the rest of my life. So I really didn't want to leave them. So I came back, we was like, we're good enough. We're gonna spin back, win the Big South, and then, then everybody gonna go wherever they need to go if they need to do that. Are we running back if we want to do that? So we started off good, it was 8-1. Everything kind of went downhill from there, but still had a decent year. I didn't do what I set out to do. I wanted to be first team all conference and win Deep Play of the year. I ended up making honorable mention, which I thought was some stuff, but that's just how life works. And then after that, transferred out High Point. Went to Pittsburgh for 2 years. Probably the best decision I made basketball wise, just so I can just be adapted to just playing against bigger, faster, stronger players. Just what happens when you play in the ACC, and it just was fulfilling a childhood dream. Being a Carolina kid, you always want to play against the Dukes, Carolinas, the NC State. So being able to do that and then win against them teams, like it's not a lot of people can say they won a game at Cameron Indoor. Like I could say that, and a lot of teams can't say they beat you. A lot of people can't say they beat UNC. I can say that. A lot of people can't say they beat NC State. I did that. I beat Wake Forest. Not saying like just me an individual, like just growing up a Carolina kid, you know how much that means. Just like being able to play them teams and then win is this is just a different feeling. So playing at Pitt was honestly the best decision I ever made basketball wise. Just met a lot of good people. Met my big bro was like my basically like kind of like my second dad in a way with Jason Capel. He really taught me how to be a professional and just be a pro and not taking no days off. And then the main thing with him when it comes to me is just learning how to be consistent, like consistently playing hard, consistently being there, consistently being available, just being there when when needed, like the way he want to call it is we call ourselves SEALs, Navy SEALs. Like Navy SEALs got to do everything. That's kind of like, and then after that, like this past year played with OKC in the preseason in the summer league, which was a super dope experience, especially them coming off a championship and then be able to learn from guys like Shea, J Dub, Alex Caruso, um just like a eye opener in a way, just showing how it really is to be a pro, like seeing somebody that's around my age and just doing the things that like I'm looking to do in the future. It's like, all right, this is what I have to do. This is what I have to. This is why I have. This is the way I have to lock in and commit myself to just being the best version of myself to get to where I want to be. So, being under that organization was, truly a blessing for somebody that's just getting to the league. And then when it came to preseason, it wasn't the best. I didn't play my best. Like if you ask me, like if you really want to know, if you ask me, I played terrible. But if you ask my family and friends, I played okay. But I hold myself to a different standard than they do. But after that, played G League. G League season went, started off a little slow again, but then it really started going off, having a lot of good games, just being consistent, just stacking days. And then unfortunately, in like January, early January, I ended up fracturing my hip, which took me out for the season. But I bounced back. And then I just finished up summer league with Milwaukee. Had a really good showing there. Hopefully hear some good things soon. But that's pretty much the journey of how basketball has taken me throughout my life so far.
And come with it, and for real, because folks don't know, like, you know, it takes when you're like, I felt you when you're like, man, I feel like I didn't do so good, but I mean, if you ask my family and friends, they'll think I did. I was like, I felt that because it's like you put your own. It's like you mentioned, you put your own self in a standard to where I got to be really excellent. Like
Yeah.
it's excellent or
Mm-hmm.
nothing. It's like A plus or we don't do no C's. We don't
Yeah.
really do no B's. We do
Right.
A's. So, but this leads to my question, First of all, coming from Winston Salem has a huge, rich hoop history.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people that I've had on here have cited you as a one of the best to come out of Winston-Salem, and also cited you as, say, a role model. But for you, personally, for you, what does it mean to you to be part of the Winston-Salem Hoop legacy?
I mean, like I'm super appreciated it from like, people like out here giving me my flowers early because it's not a lot of people, not a lot of communities, not a lot of cities that does that. Um, but like at the same time, I feel like I'm not all the way there yet. Like I wouldn't call myself um I won't put myself up there with like the CP3s, the Josh Howards, the Harry Giles, and the other countless other Winston legends that put on Rashad Terry, that put on for the city. Like I won't say I'm in that category yet. I feel like I still got ways to go and things I have to do, but I do truly feel like I'm one of the best that's still playing right now. Like humbly speaking, just because like I've been through it all, and I still one of the ones that still come out and hoop and Winston every day. Like I'm going out still hooping in Rex. I'm still going to hoop outside on Sundays at Rufus Bell Park with the OGs. It's just a lot of things I still want to do. Like I want to still like put give back to the community. I haven't really done anything to like really give back to the community yet, which I'm definitely working on. But I feel like it's just a lot of things I feel like I got to do to really be talked about and them type of conversations. But like I am blessed that people you know think of me when they think of Winston Legends.
For sure, cause man, come on with it. Like you gotta be proud of yourself, sir. Like what you have done, and I think a lot of people need to understand what you have done is something that a lot of people can't, say
Hmm.
can't talk about. Like you
Yeah.
mentioned, played at I played at an ACC, beat Duke, beat Carolina, beat NC State, beat Wake, beat all these teams that you grew up watching. Playing
Hmm.
in the conference that you grew up watching. Because everybody knows if you from the Carolinas, ACC was like the
Hmm.
thing that you wanted to play.
Yeah.
So, and I think for you, you should be like, you should definitely be proud of yourself, especially like you setting that standard and, you putting on for Winston, letting people know, hey, I'm still here.
Mhm.
Like, you know, I'm doing what I got to do and I'm going to do it with passion.
Yeah.
So this leads to my question is, I come from a mid major, you came from a mid major, but also like the transfer section is so for you, what would you say is the similarities and the differences in the competition wise between the Big South and the ACC?
Competition wise, I would say I say the differences. I feel like the difference is more easy to say than what the similarities are. So the differences is really I think this is just not even just like an ACC Big South thing. I just think this is a mid-major Power Five thing. I think the biggest difference is just like the bigs, like when it comes to like the 4 or 5 mans on the basketball team. Like you're gonna get legit like 6'10", 7 foot dudes at the five when you play high major teams. And the difference at the Big South is like you probably playing a 5 man that's probably like 6'8". He probably like pause. He probably a little thicker on the thicker side, but like at the same time, it's like you're not gonna see that at the ACC level. And if you do see that, that's probably like the 4 man, like a 6'8", 234 man. That's super strong. Like that's what you're gonna see at the ACC. I think that's the biggest difference when it comes to like mid majors and high majors for real. Is honestly just like the big play. And then when it comes to the guards, like you're gonna play better guards in ACC, yes, but it's a lot of guards in the Big South that I played against that are really good basketball players that I think could also be playing at a Power Five, doing the same things they were doing at the Big South. So it's like when it comes to the different similarities, this is really when it comes to on the court, it's the guards and the bigs. I don't feel like it's really that much of a difference between the guard play in the Big South and the ACC when it comes to certain guards. Not every guard in the Big South can play in the ACC, but the ones that can go, and I feel like they can do the same thing at ACC level. But when it comes to the bigs, that's where I feel like the differences really are. Just like you're playing against a 7 foot dude all the time. Like you're not gonna be able to just go to the paint every play and just try to make a layup over a 6'8" guy. So it's like that's the biggest difference for me. And then like I say off the court, the biggest difference is like I was at High Point. and we didn't have a football team, so like we was kind of like the main team on campus. It didn't feel like that when we was there. We also wasn't, winning the conference, but I feel like that shouldn't really matter at the end of the day because basketball team. I feel like we should support. We could be like, that's them. Like, not saying put us on a different pedestal, but like show us the support that uh uh like a middle of a pack ACC team would get if they walking around. Like I feel like the support system for a mid major and a high major is different. I feel like the way the students give when I was at Pitt, the way they like put into just being there, and we wasn't bad, nor was we good. Like we finished fourth in the ACC my junior year, then we finished eighth, I think, my senior year. But the things that didn't change with them was they support. I feel like they support was always there. They was always cheering us on, and they'll let us know. They'll keep it real with us. We playing bad, you're gonna hear a couple boos, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do on the court, I feel like they're allowed to do what they want to do. If we play better, they won't boo. That's how I feel about it. But I just think that's the biggest difference. Just like the fans support, and then just like the local support, in the community when it came to the mid major and the high majors.
For sure, because I will say, like, with mid majors, is like a lot of people like to overlook the mid majors, which is, I get it, but then it's
Yeah,
like you got guards that could possibly play a power five, like you said, if they
right.
wanted to, if they, but like, and I think some people think, there's some circumstances that people go through to where they have to go to this one or the proximity and everything. And also, to first of all, sir, I need people to remember, and this leads to my question is, with so many accolades and records in your book, in like the history books for the ACC, and even in college, where you are the only first and only player to have like a certain amount of blocks and steals and points for that 3 seasons, the first 3 seasons. Then now you're in the record books with the same record as Shane Battier, and you're in the pit area. So, what did that mean to you to be in the etch, in the record books with your name etched in next to, say, Shane Battier? You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, okay,
That
okay.
was a blooper
I s-
moment. It's all good.
My fault. Yeah, I remember the first time seeing that graphic, and it was kind of like surreal, because like I said, growing up in North Carolina, growing up with Salem, I grew up a Duke fan, so I was a big Shane Battier guy, especially because when I started watching basketball and playing basketball, he was playing with LeBron, who's my favorite player, and he was hitting all the threes, and I was like, man, Shane Battier's a cool guy. He went to Duke, he get to play with LeBron, like I wish I can be that. So seeing that was like super surreal, like seeing somebody who did 4 years at Duke and was a National Player of the Year, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I know for a fact was an All American a couple times at least. So I feel like it just shows like the work I put in. Like like I said, like the story I told, like I wasn't the highest recruiter, wasn't the highest jumper at the time, wasn't the most skilled, didn't have a trainer growing up, still don't really have a trainer, still more of a pickup guy over just sitting in the lab by yourself and just doing imaginary stuff. So like being able to see my work and the things I do be in the same categories as people like Shane Battier really does mean a lot, and I never take it for granted. Like stuff like that is something I can tell my kids about one day. Like I was really like when I get older, I'm gonna really act like I'm really 10 times better than what I am. So I'm be like, I was really one of them. Like that's what I'm telling my kids. Like I was one of them. Like gave me the ball every play, go get a bucket. That's how I score so many points. I'm gonna just tell them that's in a season, not in 3 years. To make myself look better. But nah, in all seriousness, in all seriousness, though, it really is a cool thing to be a part of.
For sure, because I remember Aaron, I remember doing a whole like spotlight thing, and I always want to put Winston people like the legends like you up there, because like,
Hmm.
man, people need to realize like Mr. Hooper is like, when they play with passion, they play with passion. It's like no
Oh yeah,
other. So
oh yeah.
like when I seen that, like, damn, I was like, does this man know what he got in his like the what I put in? I was like, because it was like, and I think to me, I remember I told you one time is, like the way how skilled you are, as well as like you're both like a two-way player with offense and defense. I'm like, I don't know if has anybody I don't know if anybody told you, but you like remind me of a Drew Holiday where you are, say, you can defend like defensively, like you are a defensive like guard, all
Hmm.
defensive teams, multiple times, all defensive teams. Drew Holiday's a defensive player, can shoot the three, you shoot the three, national champion. I'm like, I don't know, has anybody ever said that? I was like, his game kind of remind me of Drew Holiday, like, you know.
I appreciate that. You like I think I told you like Drew Holiday is definitely one of them ones. Like I watch a lot of Drew Holiday tape when it comes to like defensive players. Definitely Drew Holiday, Jaden McDaniels, Derrick Jones Jr., Herb Jones. A lot of the 3 and D type wings or 3 and D type guards is really where I mainly put my focus on when it comes to watching other players. Just I'd rather watch somebody that I know that I'm gonna do. Like I know I'm coming into the league to stop people from putting the ball in the basket and make shots when I'm open. And I don't wanna watch, no disrespect to guys like Kevin Durant, Tyrese Maxey, LeBron James. Like I'm not coming in the league to do that type of stuff. I'm not coming in to be the main ball handler, trying to score, do all that stuff. I'm coming to league to sit down, guard, make shots, and be consistent. So I feel like that's another thing I'll tell kids too. Like, don't get stuck up in watching, the main guys, because 9 times out of 10, you're probably not going to be the main guy at the next level. So it's like my thing is learn how to play off the ball, learn how to be comfortable being a role player, to be learn to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. Is something I was taught. So just just make sure you do the little things and don't be scared to talk. That's the main thing. A lot of people be scared to open their mouth and say what they got to say.
A closed mouth ain't gonna get fed, y'all. I swear to
Amen.
goodness. Cause I like, especially if you're gonna talk and communicate on the court,
Mhm.
bruh.
It's
That's like
mandatory. It's
y'all,
mandatory.
we both know ball. Period.
Hmm.
Like, cause if I'm gonna carry the ball out, I need somebody to set a pick.
Yeah.
If you want me to set a pick, let me know. Don't
Right.
tell us like, hey, can you, and you we don't communicate. This is I don't know what's going on. So
Hmm.
closed mouth ain't gonna get fed, y'all. So just open mouth talk. That's it. Open
Uh-huh.
communication is key, y'all.
That's
I
all
was
it's
like,
needed.
so, but what would you if so? This leads to my question. You played against some of the amazing people coming out from Winston, as well as collegiate and also in the pros.
Mm.
If there was a list of people, say, who would you say are some of the players, top five players that you really looked up to growing up, or even just watching them play and compete? Who would you say are some of your top five players?
Top five players growing up watching. Obviously, being from Winston, you got Harry Giles, CP, Josh Howard. Those was the main three guys, and then other than them, then definitely Braun. I would never. Braun is probably like the one who really watching LeBron really was the one that got me to be like, I want to be somebody like Braun. Like somebody like him is like somebody like I feel like every kid should look up to. Not even like just on some like just to be like a Braun fan, just like the way he carry himself outside the court and on the court. Like we don't hear the stuff like him getting in trouble, him doing anything that's like out of the ordinary. Like he keep it ball. He talks about uncomfortable conversations that need to be talked about, which shows that he cares about the community. It's just a lot of things he does, and the way he gives back, and just a lot of the things that really inspired me. And then the final one would probably be, this is tough. This is tough.
I know, it was like I put him on.
Honestly, the last one would probably be Gerald Green, and that's just because
Oh,
I love 2K14, and I used to play that all the time, and he was my favorite player on 2K14. So Harry, CP, Josh, Bron and Gerald Green is probably like the five people that really got me into basketball for real.
Man, you pulled a big one out the bag from Gerald Green because I remember he would dunk like crazy, just
Man,
like if you know, you know, like all them the dunk
if you know, you know
competitions.
for real.
But you mentioned Brian, like Brian does a lot. I think I can't believe like he's entering his 23rd, 24th season,
Yeah.
and then he does a lot of community things. Like we
Mhm.
said, like he built the I Promise School, which a lot of people, if they know, they know. But then
Yeah.
also for you to mention like the three Winston legends, Chris, Josh, Harry, like that's because I remember like I had, oh my gosh, do you know how many people had like fits about when I had a like, hey, what's y'all's Mount Rushmore for North Carolina hoops? Or I had like so many people like say,
Yeah.
why ain't nobody put John Wall on there? But like, yo, this is just a person's list. Like,
Right.
all right, y'all.
You gotta recognize where the question is being asked at. It's being asked in Winston Salem.
And not to mention it's at CP3 Academy. Like we in
Hey, and
I'm
it was people on there that wasn't even putting CP on the list, but I ain't gonna get into that. I ain't gonna get
I
into
brought
that.
Bruh, that's why I was like, you know what? So why we not with it? I'm like, there were some I was questioning, like, wait, are you sure is this it?
Yeah, yeah.
But I was like, hey, it's y'all's list. That's on y'all.
Yeah.
But I just think, like I said, I think, with North Carolina, it is the hoop state, y'all. Just know that. Y'all can
Merch.
try to say Texas and California, Indiana, but at the end of the day, we have the GOAT coming out of North Carolina. We do have Michael Jordan coming out of North
We do
Carolina. We
got
do
Michael
have Chris.
Jordan.
We
We
do
got
have
Chris
Chris
Paul.
Paul. We have Josh Howard. We have Harry Giles. We had mind you, we had the number one player coming out of North Carolina for 4 years that people
Mm.
forget. If you know, you know.
If you know,
So,
you know.
but this leads to my question, Zach, is you wear for those, so your number is 55,
Hmm.
and there's a huge story to it. So for you, what does the number 55 mean to you?
Yeah. I wear the number, 55 for my mom who passed away in 2017. She was 55 at the time of her passing, so she never really got to watch me play basketball because, like I said, I didn't really start playing basketball till around the age of 14, 15. So she didn't really get a chance to watch me play. So I'm wearing number 55 for her, just so she's always being remembered. So I can just another way for me to keep her name alive. Um, and just so I just feel like it's good luck at this point. Like I just feel like every time, ever since I wore the number 55, like when it comes to basketball, nothing but blessings been having, nothing but me going up and up, and being able to have 55 back for this past summer league was like a super blessing. I'm kind of like a superstitious person, so like me not being able to wear 55 this past year was kind of messed me up. I feel like that was part of the reason why I was playing bad, but nah, but I just feel like that number is just it just has so much significance for me, and not just me, just for my family. um like I said, like it really does mean a lot, being able to carry on her legacy, and her looking down. I know she's happy seeing her little boy playing basketball and just doing the things that he said he's told her he was going to do.
For sure, because I know like if it's not 55, you'll wear 5. You're like that's the
Oh yeah,
closest thing. It's like
yeah,
because I
we're
was
gonna
it's
find a way.
like I was like Zach, what number you wear? 5. Okay, I was like, all right, bet. All right, so because I be like because I was like, there's no 50. I was like, oh, he got 5. Never mind. All right,
Yeah.
bet. If I know there's a number 5 I'm playing on a team, I'm like that's it's like I got now. It's like I know 2 number 5s. It's like I know 2 number
Hmm.
5s, and they Winston legends. If you know, you know. So
If you know, you know.
if you know, you know. So my question is, um, when it comes to say, first of all, I just want people to know this right here is advocate of women's basketball. If he knows ball,
I
But
know
I'm gonna
ball.
need he know ball, especially that mile more answer. I always say that answer you gave was the best answer. I was like, so this leads to my question: is what inspires you to advocate for women's basketball?
Honestly, just growing up, like I said, just growing up, like I always used to watch, basketball all the time, and then on Sundays, ABC, I see like the WNBA playing. Like I said, I used to be a big Maya Moore fan, so like seeing Maya Moore play was like, yo, like it's really women out here. Because like I said, I wasn't really into sports, so I didn't really know like all I know is what I was seeing. So I didn't really know like it was women that good at basketball. So seeing girls like Maya Moore, Simone Augustus, um, and that whole like Minnesota Lynx team, just like at that time, just going at it, and seeing Maya Moore just turn around, spin fades. I didn't even know like how you really do a spin fade for real. Like I'm still learning how to go between the legs and make a contested layup. So like seeing a woman just go ahead and go get a bucket, it was like just an eye-opening moment for me. And then just after that, just seeing all the other women's that was in the league, just seeing Diana Taurasi, the Sue Birds, the Tamika Catchings, just seeing all these type of women just do their thing and just go get to it. It was just something I was like I was just really big into. Like end of the day, like hoops is hoops. Like I get they can't dunk, but like they can do literally everything else. So it's like, what's the difference? Like it's a skill game, um, just like the NBA is. Oh, same thing you got to do in the NBA, you got to do in the WNBA. You got to put the ball in the basket, and they got a lot of people that does that at a high level, and I'm just like watching it.
Man, come through with let me get my little tamarind cook. Come through with it. Come on, man. Come through with it. You put a big bag on Tamika Catchings. I have yet to hear somebody mention Tamika Catchings. You
They don't know
know,
about her, man.
man.
Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, steals leader. I know ball.
And she
I
from
know
and
ball.
man, and she was in the for those that don't know, Tamika Catchings, Hall of Fame. She was in the Hall of
Hall of
Fame class
Famer.
with Kobe Bryant, and she was part of the undefeated Tennessee team that had the three Meeks. Mind you, their undefeated team had the hardest schedule. Mind you, playing against UNC and UConn in the 90s, had the hardest schedule. And come on with it, Sue Bird and TT. Come on.
Come on,
Come on
come on.
now. You got two UConn's players. You got the assist leader and also the probably the greatest scorer coming out of WNBA
Yeah. If you ask
with
me the
all
best
time
player,
points.
that's my best player to come out of the WNBA. Aja Wilson is probably going to surpass her in a couple years, but I'm a big Mike Moore fan.
Man, come on. See, folks don't know. Folks, hey, my Moore, I'm gonna let y'all know this. My Moore is the GOAT. And now I know some people will be like, how's she like? Imagine going to a championship game every
Every
other
other
year.
year, every other year she was going. It was
And
crazy.
mind you, she was signed to Jordan, the only woman to sign with Jordan. In they hope there was a whole poster. I don't know if anybody remember this, but it was a whole picture of her, Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, and Michael Jordan. She was signed to them, and people said, "Oh, that's 10 rings right there." And they weren't mentioning. And when they said 10 rings, they were talking about 6 rings with Michael Jordan and
And the
four
forward
rings
Maya
with
Moore.
but but and also Maya was the greatest, one of the greatest winners in sports history. At
Mhm.
85 to 87% winning percentage from high school to the pros, high school, college, pros, Olympics. So, but people ain't ready for that conversation. But
Uh-uh.
so it's like we know ball, we
We
know
know ball
ball.
though. We know ball though.
We know ball. That might be our little slogan. We know ball. So it's like that might
We
be a
know
little
ball.
like that might be the little tagline. We know ball. So if you know, we know ball. So but this leads to my question. I always say that athletes are humans first. As a black man and an athlete, how important is mental health to you?
It's extremely important. Especially like as somebody who like been through, the stuff I've been through, like losing my mom and then just not having the best performance on the court from I felt like last year in summer league and then just like the first couple games in G League. Like um it really, especially in when it comes to sports, like we put so much on ourselves just to be the best version of ourselves, and then when we not where we think we should be or the place we want to be, you think you failed in a way, like you feel like you let a lot of people down, and um, as much as you could tell your people like this how you feel, and like I feel like I let y'all down, and them saying like, nah, you didn't let us down, like this and the third. It's just for you to like for me, I'm gonna just speak for myself. Like for me to get to where I'm at, I had to change my mindset. I had to turn into a different person. So I'm not thinking the same way other people's thinking when it comes to basketball. Like I'm looking at it in a completely different way. And I feel like as most hoopers and just athletes in general, like you just look at the game a different way. You put a different amount of expectations upon yourself than everybody else does. So when you don't hit them as expectations or exceed it, it's like feels like the world is just crashing down and just everything is going bad. And the biggest thing that I learned from my experience is just going through what I went through, and it's just the hard times. It's just, you can't dwell on the past. You can't change what's already written. All you can do is just go about your day and just try to be better than you was the day before. So I just think as long as I keep the main thing, and I just for all athletes, just keep the main thing, and just understand like you can't let a couple games or a couple weeks, because it's gonna be moments when you're not at your best. You're not gonna be good. You're not gonna be playing at the level you're used to playing at. But that's just life. Is you can't be perfect. If you could be perfect, then everybody could be perfect. And if that was the case, it wouldn't be a fun world to live in. So it's just like learning how to be appreciative of the little things, and not learning how to not take everything for granted, and making sure you make the most of your opportunity, and just have fun with it. I feel like it got to a point last year when I wasn't having fun with it, and I think that's part of the reason why I wasn't playing my best, because I was trying to look too far ahead when I should have been just being where my feet are. And then after being where my feet are, and just listening to a couple of my family members, and my sister, just helping me out, just making sure like I keep a steady head, and then just being around, like I said, like OKC and that culture was so amazing. I really forever appreciated and embedded it to them, um, because of the way they handled me not being my best and still being there for me, and knowing keep instilling the reason that you here is there's a reason why you here, and if you wasn't good enough to be here, you wouldn't be here. So why even put in your head that you might not be good enough for it? You know what I mean? They don't put you in situations to fail. They put you in situations to succeed. So I just, like I said, just being where your feet are is how I feel like, help me get over that hurdle of just mental health. And I feel like we need more people out here to like really speak on that side of the game. Like I feel like it's a good, talking point, but I don't feel like everybody takes it as serious as it should be taken, because I feel like I think I can speak on this as a black man. Like it's hard for us to just speak on our feelings and talk about like what we're going through, because it's not the way a lot of us was raised, was to speak on our feelings. So it's just like it's easy for people like us to just keep it in and try to figure it on your own. And sometimes you ain't gonna be able to have the questions. I mean, the answers that you want the questions to. So it's like there's nothing wrong with going out asking for help. Not even saying you have to like saying you gotta like put yourself in some like bubble, but it's nothing wrong with having. I feel like that's what I learned over this past year too, is just having somebody that you are comfortable enough to talk to about your problems, regardless of what the problems are.
For sure. Like, I think, you know, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, you mentioned like, I just think when it comes to men, especially, I take a man's mental health so serious, their well being,
Hmm.
everything. And I think because my thing is like they need somebody or a safe space where they're open to be able to express themselves and be respected and not like say judged or ridiculed. Because at the end of the day, I always say like, and I always say to folks that if they begin their faith, the strongest man alive who died, who died for your sins. I like
Hmm.
to say, and the man wept. Jesus wept. If the strongest man alive on earth, Jesus wept. then men have men should be able to express their things. And I
Yeah.
think and I feel like for me, that's why I take a man's mental health so serious is because like I feel like for me to see like this stigma placed in they have to be strong all the time. And I'm like thinking to myself, are there times where you tired of having all that weight on your shoulder to where you're carrying, everything and being like say, where people's telling you how they're feeling, but it's like where's my chance to be able to tell how I'm feeling where I don't have like say all this weight on my shoulders, being
Yeah.
having that stigma placed like I have to be strong all the time, or if a man is crying, they're weak, and it's like it's almost like the superhero complex, like they have to be strong all the time. So I just do you feel like there's times where that superhero complex or like that stigma being placed where if you can't say if that kind of affects like say in both on and off the court at times?
Yeah, it definitely does. I feel like just being an athlete, and then just like being an athlete in general is just it's just hard. I feel like everybody just already has this stigma on you, and they already have this version of themselves that they already have embedded in their head, and it's hard for them to unsee that unless they actually get to know you. And a lot of the times, they're not trying to really be too open to get to know the actual person that they're having a conversation with. So I feel like it's kind of hard for athletes to really open up sometimes, just because like athletes go through so much. They seen so many shady people. Like it gets to a point like you really got to look and wait and you see if people really are who they say they are, or are they just here just because you're up right now, just because your name is popping. So I just feel like everybody that's when it comes to talking to athletes, already try to put them on a pedestal. Where I know a lot of athletes, like myself, is just especially like for me, it's just awkward sometimes, just because like I'm not used to having people like having all these people know who I am just in my corner. Because like I said, I wasn't growing up like I was the most popular kid in school. Like that was far from the case. So it's like it's kind of weird. You gotta sometimes you really gotta look in between the lines and make sure everybody's there for the right reasons.
That's the probably the realest thing that that's what I've heard all day, like along with what I've shout out to my mentor. We were talking about. But like I was to me, like it's like we like as athletes, especially like if I know like what you go through, like, I think a lot of people love the athletes or love people when they're on top, when they're at a
Hmm.
certain level. But it's like, did you not love me when I or when I was like practicing, or there was times when I'm missing like shots and y'all didn't
Hmm.
love me then, but like
Right.
it's it is like this, and this is where like you have to differentiate who's really there for like the athlete version of me, or who's really there for like take away the athlete version, like who's
Yeah.
gonna be there like when I'm say Zach Austin,
Hmm.
like, and I'm not just saying the athlete Zach Austin. I'm saying the human side Zach Austin, where
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be the chillest person, but I'm goofy, funny, like happy go lucky. But
Yeah.
baby, like we all, it's like people see. It's like some people see the version that you place, which is cool. Which like
Yeah.
I'm showing you what I show you because that's my
That's the
thing.
what I want to show you. Yeah.
Versus I gotta find the right people that actually value me, and I'll show them what I'm gonna show them.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things I always tell folks is you gotta go where you're gonna be celebrated, valued, and appreciated, not tolerated.
Right.
So let
Amen.
you gotta let folks know. So
Yeah.
gotta let them know.
For sure.
So this leads to my question. When it comes to representation, especially having someone that looks up to you or you looking up to someone, how important is representation?
I mean, it's truly important. Like, I don't want to set a bad example for people that look up to me. I don't want to go out here and just, do something dumb just because, just for the 5 second moment, just for people to be like, Zach's cool. Like, I'm not that type of person. So I feel like just it's super important just because you got to be mindful of who looks up to you. Like, you never know who is actually watching you and just trying to be like you, and you going out here doing something dumb that can really mess up not just your life, but just the people that look up to you as well. It's not something um that I'm willing to do. I'm not one of the ones that want to feel like I let somebody down. Especially that's like looking up to me. I don't want to be the person to be like, dang, I was messing with it until like, I looked up this dude and he just didn't. So it kind of steered me. I was like, I don't want to be that guy. So I understand how much, being a good person means to people that you look up to. And I just want to keep being the person that I am.
Man, preach. Cause that moment, I was like, I know exactly what he talking about. Like, I don't want to be the damn what happened to this person.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
last thing I want to be.
like one of those damn what happened to that person or what like those what if stories. Like, I yeah we like like I don't want to have. It's like we don't want to have those things. It's like
Yeah.
we trying to. It's like we trying to be the best people we can be. It's like
Uh-huh.
so, and I think you hit that on the nail because I think, you know, it's almost like you're on, what's it called? You're under a microscope, as people used to
Yeah.
say. You're under a microscope when you hit like say a certain stage of life.
Mhm.
Who, and sometimes like at times like they're probably like people that you looked up to that when you see something they doing crazy, like dang, I used to look up to this person and this is what they doing.
Right.
It's like, man, like now I see why they say you gotta be careful who you look up to, because
Mhm.
man,
You
that
really
two
do.
sides of the that two sides of the coin. It's like, dang, like I didn't expect this to happen, like
Yeah.
that. So this leads to my question of, if there was a word or a phrase to describe your journey so far, what would it be?
Word or phrase. Hmm.
It could be multiple words if it helps.
Okay. Um, Shoot. Word or phrase. Honestly, blessed, bruh. Like I'm just super blessed to feel like a lot of the things that happen in my life. Sometimes I really don't feel like it's a coincidence. I feel like it's something that the man upstairs already had for me, and it just happened to fall into my lap because that's the plan he had for me. So just blessed. Like I feel like I've been in a lot of situations that could have went the other way around. I could have went in a lot of different directions when it came to just life in general. Like I'm just blessed to have, like I said, like, I'm blessed to have the circle I have, my sisters, my grandma, my aunties. Like I'm blessed to have them, blessed to have my niece, my nephews. I'm just super blessed just to have the people I have in my life. That just steers me in the right direction. Blessed to have friends that's not yes man. That's not just gonna say you're doing good all the time. Like I got friends that's gonna keep it real with you, keep it real with me. If they saying you not doing what you need to do right now, Zach, they gonna let me know I'm not doing what I need to do. So like I said, just super blessed, man. Just super blessed.
Amen, amen, amen. Because while he do it, yes, he will. So,
Uh-huh. Every
but
time.
I noticed that, you're very big on your family. Would you say your family is your why on why you continue to keep going?
Um, yeah, they're definitely a part of my why for sure. I feel like when it comes to saying like what's your why to do something, I feel like you can have your why can be your family, but I feel like at the end of the day, your why should be yourself as well. Like you should be doing this because you want to do it, not just because you want to do it, just because you're family. I feel like you got to make sure you want to do it as well. I'm not saying people don't want to do it. I'm just putting it out like my why is definitely my family, but my why is also because of me. I want to be the greatest version of myself when it comes to the things I put forth. So, they're definitely a big part of the reason why I do the stuff I do for sure. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm super close with my family, and it's not like a big family for real. Like, I have a real big family, but the family I speak to. It's just the ones that's like really gonna keep me on my stuff.
That's real. That's real. Let them know, hey, that's when you know, like, I don't know what people, I don't know if anybody be real how about it, but they talk about them grandmother prayers that be speaking, hitting people.
Man, my whatever my grandma been praying around been hitting numbers these past 5, 6 years when it came to me. Man,
Cause I like yes, like I be like yeah, my mother be praying, but something about them grandmother prayers. I don't know. I don't know what type of magic or what type of prayer they be saying. I be like, man,
yeah,
they
it's
just
just
hit
like the food. It's just like the food. They just know what they doing, man. They've been doing it for too long.
right, man. Also, y'all, when food wise, it gotta be good food. You know when food good. You know when the food is good if it's made out of love. And we're not
Mm-hmm.
talking about blue box macaroni and cheese, y'all. We talking about
Mm.
like great homemade food.
Homemade. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. If we know
th-
ball though.
we know
We know
about,
we know
but
ball though.
we know about. So this leads to my question is I always ask my guests this question, Bonafide means authentic, unique, but for the men, the authenticity, hello. So but what makes Mr. Zach Austin authentic and what makes your story stands out?
What's make me authentic? I feel like just I feel like I'm not like the normal like quote unquote like pro NBA because I don't like calling myself an NBA player because I feel like I didn't make it yet. So when it comes to like just a pro hooper, pro basketball player, I think the things that like separate me from everybody else is just I think just the way I am or the way I act. Like I feel like a lot of like the pros nowadays like they don't really like hoop as much, especially not hooping with like people of the community and just like people that don't even hoop for real. Like I think that's what separates me the most. Like I'm always playing in some league. Like I'm in Greensboro playing in the Drew, or I'm in Winston playing in the league, or I'll be in High Point playing in their little like adult league. Like I'm always out here showing face, playing ball, just trying to meet as many people as I can through basketball. Just make as much friends as possible. Just creating new friendships, new maybe partnerships, and just like just collabs and just meeting all type of different people just through basketball because it's really crazy how this basketball thing can take you to so many different places and meet so many different type of people like you could never imagine it. So it's like I think that's the biggest thing that separates me, just like how I am when it comes to just the way I move when it comes to basketball. Like I just do a lot of stuff that's like not the norm way of doing it nowadays. It's just a lot of people are just not saying it's not anything wrong with, training or working out with a trainer all the time, but I feel like, when it comes to me training with trainers, like I definitely do that when it comes to me when I go to back to the team I'm gonna go to. Like I'm gonna be in the gym working with my player development coach, doing all that type of stuff. But in the off season, I want to get up and down. I don't want to lose my cardio. I don't want to be. I want to get my second win faster than everybody else. Because when it comes to my job on the court, is to guard the best player, run through screens, chase people around, be athletic, fly around, make open shots. Like I want to keep in shape. So I just want to keep playing basketball. Like I just really love to go up and down, play basketball, and talk junk to people I just met and dap up and laugh about it afterwards.
And that's real, like for real, because people don't know. Like when people say ball is life, it really is life. Ball is life. You like you mentioned, you can form different things like friendships, partnerships. But I'm telling you, ball is life. You find your brothers, you find your sisters. You can find, say, your friendships and your romantic relationships in ball is
You
life.
can find it
So
all. And I've
you
seen
find
it.
you find everything. Like you can find everything, and plus, it shows you like the type of people who you can surround yourself with and who you don't surround yourself with. Like basketball, especially on the court and off the court, you see what type of leader, what type of player that person is, especially when they play,
I
especially
promise you.
if man, come on now. See,
You can tell
I'm
a lot
telling you,
about a person by the way they play basketball. By the way they carry themselves on the basketball court, you can tell a lot of way about that person. I'm
for real.
telling you.
Just like where Nunu said to Rashad from ATL, talk about, I know how a person can tell. I know what type of man I like. You buy skates, buy skates. I'm like, right, okay, all right. You could tell a lot how a person, if you are a hooper, you know. You could tell how they everything. So I'm
Yeah,
just like, but we know ball. Ball is life. We know ball. So,
we know
but
ball is life.
yeah. Zach, can you let the folks know how where they can find you, follow you, any upcoming events happening your way?
Well, yeah, you can follow me at Zack Austin, Zack, and then Austin with two I's on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Um, Shoot, I don't really got nothing planned for real. Just y'all see me out here in these leagues probably. Make me walk down. I'm finna walk down to Charlotte tonight, playing a little pro am there. Might try to get out there to Raleigh, get the ground zero. But besides me just hooping, I don't really got much going on for real. Hopefully, God got a plan for me, and I get a call soon. Something good, heading that way. But till then, y'all catch me at a basketball court somewhere playing with y'all uncles or something.
It's with the uncles and stuff. We at this point, it's like we had the the aunt and the uncle
Yeah,
stage.
we at the uncle and uncle stage.
So y'all be sure to follow the man, the myth, the legend himself, Zach Austin, at Instagram at Zach Austin with two eyes in the Austin period, and on TikTok. Y'all be sure to check it out his TikTok content because it's fire. Hello, because it is fire.
We got more
So,
funny videos coming soon. Too
and
many
I'm
people
gonna
been
need it.
asking about it.
I was one of them. I'm one of them folks that was asking, telling him to do some more TikTok content because it's fire. Because it be popping on my For You page. It does. So, but y'all be sure to follow the man, the myth, the legend himself, Zach Austin, at Zach Austin with two eyes on TikTok, and on Instagram, and on Twitter. And be sure to, if you are in the, say, the Triad area, if you in Queen City, if you in the High Point, if you in, like, say, all the North Carolina pro areas, you can best believe you're gonna find him there, and he will give you
Hmm.
some fly high dunks too. You're gonna be like, damn, that's Superman right there. Damn, that's the Flash right there. Yeah, you're gonna see all them dunks too. So be sure to check out the live replay of Bonafide Podcast, episode 250, featuring the one and only Zach Austin. After this, a big shout out to Zach for coming on the podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.